Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Maha Sharazi, your computer teacher. This is assignment number 7 of grade 5. And today we are starting chapter number 5, that is Multimedia, illustrating a recipe card. In this chapter, you will learn how to plan a photo shoot for a project, how to take a good photos using a digital camera, and how to improve your photos using a computer, how to combine photos and document to create an illustration to go with your text. Digital photography is a great way to create illustrations for your projects. Digital cameras are built into many modern devices. You can connect these devices to computers or share the photo online so that you can use them in documents. You can also edit your photos to improve them. The history of photography. Film cameras. The first cameras to use film were invented over 100 years ago. The Brownie camera was cheap and easy to use. Now anyone could be a photographer. Plate cameras. The first photographs were made about 200 years ago, and the early cameras made images on a metal plate. The images they made were called daguerreotypes. Now there is a class activity on page 69. You need to solve it. Number 1. What makes a good photo in a book or magazine? Choose a photo you like and write down all the reasons why it is a good photo. First, think about the photo itself. Then, think about how it works together with the text on the page. Number 2. Make a list of devices that have built-in cameras and how many are there in your home. Now the next topic, 5.1, Plan Our Photoshoot. In this lesson, you will learn how to plan a photo shoot for our recipe page and how to vary images type to make a document more interesting and useful. What is a photo shoot? When professional photographers take photos for a project, they call it a photo shoot. They always plan a photo shoot carefully so that they can get all the right photos for the project. Ideas for your photo shoot. A good way to get the ideas is to look at how other people have used photos to illustrate their work. To get these ideas for your recipe photo shoot, you can look at the recipe books at the school or at home and recipe websites and food blogs on the internet. First of all, make a plan. First, you need to choose a recipe. What steps are there in the recipe? Which are the most important steps, and which steps will make the best photos? Number 2, try to use a variety of types of photo to make the recipe look more interesting. You can use different compositions, different angles, different props, and different actions. Now there is an activity on page 71 in which this says, choose a recipe, choose which steps of the recipe to photograph, choose no more than 6 steps, draw a storyboard that shows all the photos you need to take. Now there is an extra challenge. Imagine you are a picture editor and it is your job to tell the photographer which photos they need to take. So you need to give instructions about location, people, design, and colors, and write your instructions to the photographer on your storyboard. In the Explore More dialog box, they say, think about the props or the materials you need for your photo shoot. For example, a bowl or a picture of ingredients. Find the props you need and bring them to the next lesson. Now the next topic is 5.2, take digital photos. In this lesson, you will learn how to take photos using your digital camera, how to compose a picture, how to focus your camera on a subject, and how to use light to make your photo look good. Composing a photo. Every photo has a subject. The subject is the main thing you want to show. You can decide where in your photo to place your subject. In many photos, the subject is in the center of the image. You can put your subject in other places to make your interesting composition. Focusing on your subject. When your photo is in the focus, it looks clear and not blurred. Most modern cameras have autofocus. Autofocus measures the distance between the camera and the subject and sets the correct focus to the image. You can use the camera's viewfinder or screen to help you focus on the subject. When you use a smartphone, you can use the touch screen to tell the camera where to focus. Lightening your photo. Your camera can measure and control the exposure of each photo, and the exposure is the amount of light that reaches the sensor to make each photo. The camera can set the shutter speed to control the length of the time light is captured by the sensor, and if the shutter speed is too low, the photo will become blurred when the subject moves. The camera can control the sensor sensitivity to light. The setting is sometimes called ISO. When the ISO setting is increased, the camera can take photos with less light, and if the ISO is increased too far, the photo can look grainy and speckled. Now there is an activity. Use a camera or smartphone to take photos that match your storyboard. Follow the instructions you wrote in the last lesson and use different compositions and different lighting. Take photos with and without flash. Now compare your photos. Which one looked the best? Explain why and you think so. Compare your best photo with your classmates. Best photos talk about the differences between the photos. Now there is an extra challenge dialog box which says, find the manual setting menu on your camera or the smartphone and change the shutter speed and ISO settings and compare the photos you take. How do the changes affect the photos? In the Explore More dialog box, they say, think of a theme such as celebration or happiness or your favorite color. Use your camera to take the photos of the subjects around your home. Try the different compositions and lighting and save your favorite photos. Share your photos. In this lesson, you will learn how to connect your digital camera to copy photos to a computer, how to share photos using cloud storage, and how to use albums to organize your photos. Transferring your photos. To use your photos in a document or other project, you must first transfer them from your digital camera or smartphone to the computer, and you can do this by connecting the camera to the computer. You can also transfer your photos via internet. Connect a camera to your computer. You can use a USB cable to connect the most digital devices to your computer. There are different sizes of USB. Make sure you have the correct cable. Your computer usually has a standard USB plug socket, but your camera or phone may have a smaller socket. Connect your camera or smartphone to your computer. Insert the correct USB plug in each device, and you will then easily connect to your mobile or your camera with the computer. Share your photos using the cloud storage. So if you have taken your photos on a smartphone, tablet or internet-ready camera, you can use cloud storage to store your photo files. Your computer can then access the files via internet. There are many different cloud storage devices such as OneDrive, Google Photos, iCloud, Dropbox. Most cloud storage services allows you to see and work with your photos on a computer. Organize your photos in albums. Photos are usually stored in date order on your computer. You can put the photos into albums to help you find them again later. You can add images to album in the Photos application, and you can create new albums for different themes or projects. But remember, before you connect a device to your computer, always ask permission from the device owner and from the computer owner. Now there is an activity. This is last activity. Transfer your photos to your computer. Use a USB cable or the cloud storage. In the Photo application, choose the photos you want for your recipe. Create an album for your recipe and then put all your chosen photos into your new album. Extra challenge says, Can you think of other ways of sharing photos between the devices? Write down your suggestions, write down the advantages and disadvantages of each of your suggestions. And why do you need to ask permission before you connect a device to a computer? So this was all the activities from page 68 to 75 from your computer book Computing, and you need to solve these activities which are on page number 69, 71, 73 and 75. And I hope so that it will be easy for you to complete your assignment in time, because we have done the reading of this chapter and all the activities are regarding to the respective topics that we have already read. So complete your assignment on time and see you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.